All right. Yeah. Let's slow this down and really walk through what's happening here. Because when you zoom out far enough, this isn't just another messy week in Congress. This is a structural failure unfolding in public. And I don't say that lightly. I've spent most of my life thinking about systems, engineering systems, economic systems, organizational systems. And one thing you learn pretty quickly is that systems don't usually collapse all at once. They degrade quietly at first, then unevenly, and then suddenly everyone notices at the same time. What we're watching with MAGA Mike Johnson is not a personality problem. It's not just Marjorie Taylor Greene being Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's a power system that was designed to look strong, but was never built to handle internal stress. Let's start with the vote, because the vote matters more than the noise around it.
On this vote, the yeas are 222 and the nays are 200. The motion is adopted.
Then later, 231 to 195. Those aren't symbolic margins. Those are governing margins. That's Democrats and Republicans aligning to override leadership and overturn Trump-backed executive orders that blocked collective bargaining for federal workers, orders that labor unions had been fighting for years, orders MAGA Mike Johnson supported, orders Donald Trump publicly defended. And here's the key part people miss. This didn't come through leadership. It came through a discharge petition. A discharge petition is Congress saying, we don't trust the speaker to do his job. That's not rhetoric. That's procedure. It's baked into the rules. And when you see one discharge petition, it's a warning. When you see multiple back-to-back across different issues, it's a mutiny. First, collective bargaining, then Epstein-related transparency votes, now potential ACA subsidy extensions. Each time, leadership is bypassed. Each time, MAGA Mike Johnson loses leverage. Because once members learn they can go around you, you stop being a gatekeeper. You become an obstacle, and obstacles don't last long in politics. Now layer on, Marjorie Taylor Greene, MTG is not subtle. She never has been. But she's also not stupid in a mechanical sense. She understands rules. She understands thresholds. She understands timing. And right now, she's positioning herself for what she clearly views as her final act inside Congress. She is openly telling people she wants to oust MAGA Mike Johnson on her way out. Not metaphorically, literally. She's approaching members one by one, trying to rally 9 Republicans to support a motion to vacate the chair. 9? That number matters because after Kevin McCarthy's collapse, Republicans changed the rules to prevent a single member from detonating the speakership. They thought that would bring stability. What it actually did was slow the explosion by a few seconds, because the rule didn't remove the weapon. It's just made it slightly heavier. And Greene believes she can lift it. What makes this dangerous for Johnson isn't just Greene. It's that she's operating in an environment where dissatisfaction is already widespread. Elise Stefanik has openly said that if there were a roll call vote tomorrow, MAGA Mike Johnson wouldn't survive it. That's not fringe commentary. That's a senior Republican acknowledging leadership rot. Nancy Mace is signaling alignment. She's frustrated with how the House is run, with how women are treated, with how power is centralized and then misused. And she's not alone. When discontent becomes public like this, it's usually because private efforts have already failed. Now watch MAGA Mike Johnson himself. Every clip of him lately tells the same story. He's moving fast. He's evasive. He's physically running from questions. And that's not because reporters are aggressive. It's because he doesn't have answers that hold up.
Are you worried about Trump's grip on power after Indiana? Do you think it shows he's a lame duck?
Not at all. We're not
Is he a lame
worried
duck?
about. No, he is not a lame duck. He's the most powerful president of this generation and many others. We have a lot more work to do together. The outcome in Indiana is inconsequential to that. We are going to win the midterms. No, he didn't. No, he did not put in major pressure campaign for it. He let his opinion be known as he does on everything, all the time, all day long. We win some, we lose some. It is no indication whatsoever about what's going to happen next year in the midterm elections. We are excited about that. We have a great campaign to run. We go forward regardless of how each one of these states comes out. We're going to win on whatever maps are presented. So I'm very bullish. I'm more bullish today than I was yesterday, and you'll see that. And you guys underestimate us. You'll see.
That's not strategy. That's faith. And faith is not how you manage a caucus full of members worried about re-election. Then comes healthcare. This is where the cracks widen. Affordable Care Act subsidies are set to expire. If they do, millions of Americans see premiums spike, in some cases by thousands of dollars a year. Swing district Republicans know this. They are begging for a vote, not a speech, not a promise. A vote. Johnson won't give it.
Mr. Speaker, what do you say to these swing district Republicans who are really clamoring, really begging for a vote on a 2-year extension of these ACA subsidies and worried about the impact on their constituents and voters?
I've spoken to all my colleagues. We've all worked around the clock to try to come up with a solution that satisfies the needs of all of our constituents.
But will you give them a vote? Will you give them a vote? Will you give them a vote?
We're working on a package of legislation that will reduce premiums for all Americans, not just 7% of them. And I've been talking to every one of these colleagues in the top districts about that. So stay tuned. There's more to come. We're going to have a bill next week that will accomplish that very much.
Thank you.
But he never commits to floor time. And that tells members everything they need to know. Because in Congress, if leadership wants something done, it gets scheduled. If it doesn't get scheduled, it's because leadership is afraid of the outcome, and the fear is obvious. A vote to extend ACA subsidies would pass. With Democratic support through another discharge petition if necessary, and that would further prove that MAGA Mike Johnson is not actually in control of the House. So instead, he stalls. Meanwhile, the Republicans themselves start breaking script. Don Bacon openly says failure to extend subsidies will be devastating politically.
And all these folks are going to go back home, and you're going to have to look voters in the eye and say we've done nothing while their premiums are going up like $2,000 a month. It's not going to happen. The reality is going to hit here. To me, it's just basic reality. We need a short-term extension, and then let's talk about some deeper reforms.
The Speaker seems dead set against this, though.
Because what he's hearing from a lot of folks, hey, we didn't vote for ACA, we didn't vote for the IRA, this is a Democrat problem, but we're in charge.
How bad do you think this will be for Republicans if you do not extend these subsidies?
I think it will be used like a sledgehammer on us a year from now. The reality will be bad.
Josh Hawley in the Senate acknowledges the human cost.
How big of a problem would it be for your party if you do not come up with a plan for health care?
Well, I mean, I just don't know how Republicans would explain that to 24 million Americans whose premiums are going to double. We need to think about the human cost of this, I think, and Republicans need to offer an alternative solution.
These are not Democrats. These are Republicans admitting the policy reality is untenable. Then add transparency fights, Epstein files, withheld videos, classified material. Senator Tom Tillis says, release the files.
We got to release the video. Look, we got to get the Epstein files released. We got to get any videos that do not in any way compromise mission integrity down there. Just get the stuff out there.
Would you rather see a different Secretary of Defense?
I just want to see the facts so I can make an informed decision.
That directly contradicts the MAGA approach of delay and obfuscation. And AOC's analysis on gerrymandering cuts even deeper.
We're looking that there could be a cycle where R plus 10 seats flip to Democrats. And so If Republicans want to draw a map that makes them more vulnerable to that, that's their decision to do that.
You think that'll be a wave, a blue wave?
I think so.
She's not speculating. She's reading the data. So what you're left with is a speaker trapped between collapsing authority above him and rebellion below him. Donald Trump is weaker than MAGA Mike Johnson will admit. House Republicans know it. Senate Republicans know it. Voters know it. But Johnson is still tethered to Trump rhetorically. Even as that tether becomes an anchor, Marjorie Taylor Greene sees this clearly. That's why she's moving now, not later. Now, because moments like this don't last. Either leadership reasserts control or it doesn't. And MAGA Mike Johnson is not reasserting anything. That's what you're watching. So yeah, keep your eye on this. Because whatever happens to MAGA Mike Johnson next isn't just about him. It's about whether this version of the Republican Party can even sustain a governing structure without eating itself alive. If you want to stay plugged into this as it unfolds, make sure you're subscribed. Seriously, double check it. Power prefers darkness. Transparency breaks leverage. And staying informed is the only way to see the collapse before it finishes. All right. That's it for now.